Hello. Okay, next tutorial. Today's makeup is a lot of fun. It's so much fun. I knew I wanted to do something for Valentine's Day, so I wanted to do something maybe sweet. And this is the route I took. It's kind of Smiley goes on a date, and that makes me so happy. I'm all covered in kisses. Spoiler alert, some of these kisses were actually done by my partner Graham, who is in the video. Yay, he did so well. I'm so proud of him. But yeah, this is just an out of the kit, simple, rough but fun makeup. Just something you don't need prosthetics for, just latex, tissue and a dream. And a lot of lipstick. So yeah, if you'd like to learn how to do this makeup for yourself, stay tuned. Okie dokie, so the first step for this makeup is going to be to block out both of our eyebrows and to pop on a latex bald cap. As always, I won't show you how to do those two things in this video to make things go a little bit quicker, but instead I'll pop a link on the screen up there that will take you to two videos that I did in the past that teaches you how to do that. The only difference is going to be that when you block out your eyebrows with a layer of spirit gum then synthetic wax, just make sure that you use an extra layer of spirit gum over the top of that just to really seal off your eyebrows, because we are going to be using liquid latex in that area. So I'm going to go pop on my latex bald cap, block out my eyebrows, and we shall go from there. Oh, and I should also point out that when we pop on our bald cap, we're going to go around our ears. Okie dokie, so when you're done, it will look something like this. So I have already gone around the edge of my bald cap with a couple layers of liquid latex just to really blend that off and make sure it's extra stuck down. So then I can take a sponge and some more liquid latex, and I'm going to dip my sponge in the latex and apply that all over my face. Then, when everything is nice and dry and we're nice and shiny looking, we can repeat that process 3 more times, making sure it's nice and dry in between each layer. Okay, so now we can work on building up the nose area. So to do that, I'm going to take some regular masking tape, and working with strips no longer than this, I can apply that to the middle of my nose and then pull that down to stick onto my cheek. That's why we did the latex layer first. It really adheres nicely to masking tape. So I'm just going to stick that down and then to my cheek. Then I can repeat that on the other side, and then repeat that again just higher, and then again on the other side, and one going down the middle. I'm then going to take some smaller strips and stick that to the underside directly onto my lip. I can then take the same sponge from before, dip that in some more liquid latex and apply that over wherever I went with the masking tape. So then, when the final layer is nice and dry, we can take some more latex on a sponge and apply that just to one small area. Let's just say this area for now. Just make sure that it's completely saturated. Then we can take some regular toilet tissue that I've already separated into two, so we've got the thinner halves. And working with strips no bigger than this, we can pop that into the liquid latex and press that down. Pull away any excess. Then take some more liquid latex and press that over the tissue. The idea is to repeat that all over the nose area until it's nice and smooth. Usually this does take about 3 to 4 layers. It could take more, to be honest. It's whenever you feel happiest that it's smooth. So just repeat that process over the entire nose, making sure that it dries in between each layer. Okie dokie, so when you're done, it'll look something like this. So obviously it's never going to be completely flat. That's never really the point here. It's really just to try and hide the nose as much as possible so it doesn't detract from the rest of the look. So then we could do the same liquid latex and tissue technique that we did on the nose on the bottom half of the face. So we're going to do a layer of latex, then a layer of tissue, and repeat that 3 times. So there we are. So it's not really thick, it's more about getting the texture right so that it matches the rest of the face. So as you can see, we've kind of got like a Who nose kind of profile at the moment. So the next step is going to be to work on the eye area. So this is where it's going to kind of differentiate between my Smiley makeup and this, because instead of going straight down with the masking tape, we're going to do 2 heart shapes on either eye. I just thought it'd be really cute and kind of terrifying. So to do that, we're going to take some more masking tape, and working in quite long strips, we're going to pop that going down the sides of our eyes, making a V on each eye. Just make sure that you don't cover too much of your eye, because we want the centre of our eyes to be on show. Okay, so you might also notice that I popped on 2 bits of tape either side of my eye as well. So then we can repeat the same process that we did on the nose with the liquid latex and the tissue, layering it up 3 to 4 times on the masking tape around the eyes. So then, to get a really nice heart shape on top, I've took some more of the masking tape and I've cut this little shape here. And I already pre-measured it, so I know that it's roughly the same distance between the V. So then I could just take that and stick that down on top. And then I could just repeat that on the other eye. Okay, so it's not really a case of building this layer up too much, it's more there just for a stencil. But I will apply a few layers of liquid latex and tissue just over this, just so it blends off. Then next, whilst the eye area is drying, we can work on pulling up the mouth area. So to do that, we're just going to lightly lift the corners of the mouth, really delicately. I'm also going to lift the top part of the lip as well. That's completely optional, but I like doing that whenever I cover my nose. That way the lip and the nose isn't connected anymore, so I can breathe through the mouth area. So just go really slowly and pull up really gently. Okay, so then we need to make 2 tiny little tears either side of the mouth. And then it's just a case of keep tearing in a shape that goes directly upwards. If you wanted to make it a little bit easier for yourself, you could take a makeup pencil and draw a stencil line upwards so you could follow it as you tear. But for myself, I think I can do it freehand. So just go nice and slowly and keep tearing away until it's nice and symmetrical and smiley. So there we are. So I also pulled down the bottom half underneath my lip as well, just to make the smile extra happy. I figured if this guy's in love, he's going to be really happy. So then we can start colouring in the foundation. Now you could do this in a number of different ways. You could use a concealer, you could use actual foundation if you wanted to, you could use face paints even. But my personal favourite method for colouring in latex is to use alcohol activated colours, so that's what I'm going to use for this video. Just because they're really nice to layer up and everything looks a lot more translucent and natural. So the alcohol activated palette that I'm going to be using for this is the Gorton Life Colour palette in Essential, just because it's got some really nice tones in there. There are of course other palettes available that do many different skin tones. So to make this effect work so there isn't just one block of colour, I'm going to be layering up about 3 to 4 colours, starting with this lovely red shade here, just so there's a bit more warmth in there. So I'm going to apply that really sporadically over the face. Then when that's dry, I can do exactly the same again with a few different shades, just until it starts blending in. And you do of course need 99% alcohol to do this. Okie dokie, so the next step is completely optional, but I'm going to take some black hairspray and lightly spray that over my face just to make everything look a little bit more weathered, a little bit more rough and very rustic. So if you do want to do this step, make sure to breathe in first, close your eyes, spray at an arm's distance, hold the nozzle down ever so lightly and pass over the face once or twice. Obviously make sure to do this in a well ventilated area or outside. I myself am going to do this off camera outside, so I'll go do that and we'll see what everything looks like. Okay, so definitely more rustic looking. So then I'm going to take my trusty spackle brush, which is basically a really rigid toothbrush, and I'm going to dip that quite heavily in the red from my alcohol activated palette. You could also use watercolour for this, just make sure that it's really wet. And the idea then is to flick the colour directly around the eye and the mouth area so that it looks really bruised and bloody. So there we are, so not bloody as such, more freshly bruised. So then the really fun part, which I've wanted to do since the start of this tutorial, and that is to cover the face in kisses. Because I mean, he's in love after all. So to do that, this is going to look very strange for just a moment. Well, even more strange. And that's because I'm going to take a bright red cream from Makeup Forever, this is part of their Flash palette, and I'm going to really heavily paint the top and bottom lip. I'm then going to take some regular cling film, pop that onto my lips, press it down, and then remove. And by doing that, I'll have a nice lip stencil that I can press down on the underside and then push that lip mark onto my head. And I'm going to do that quite a few times. Okay, so it doesn't have to be perfect, so then we can just pop down the cling film. And then when we remove it, we have this. So I'm just gonna pop that down about there. Press that down as hard as I can, and then remove. And there we have one kiss. So I'm gonna do that all over the face until, well, it looks silly enough. Okay, so I am of course going to add way more kisses to my face, but I did just have an idea. There is of course one other way you could do this without using cling film, and that is of course to have another person kiss you directly. So without further ado, yay! And I have of course already put lipstick on Graham. You look marvellous. You ready?
Yeah.
So plant one on me, right there. Yay. Yay! Oh, that's perfect, yay! Or do another one, right there. Thank you. Love you.
I love you too.
I'd give you an actual kiss, but I don't know if you want to kiss this. Okay, so now that I'm officially covered in kisses, I can start working on colouring in the mouth area and the eye area. So to do that, I'm going to use a black face paint by Superstar, and I'm just going to follow the heart shapes around the eyes and the entire mouth area. I'm then going to take a makeup pencil. This one is a Kryolan face liner in black, and I'm just going to draw on some stitch lines going all the way around the heart and the mouth. So then onto the fun and icky part, and that is to apply some fake blood around the eyes and the mouth. So the blood that I'm going to be using is more of a paste, and that's by Superstar. This is their wound filler. Excellent name. It's basically like a really wet cream. Okay, so the final step is to apply a tiny bit of fake blood. And the one that I'm going to be using is by Fleet Street. This is their drying blood in dark. And I'm going to apply a tiny bit of that just to the bottom part of the mouth and then let it dribble down a bit. So then, all that's left for me to do is to pop on a costume. You could pop in some contact lenses, but I don't think I need to for this look because with the eyes closed, it's quite effective. But yeah, so I'm gonna go pop on my costume and we'll see what everything looks like. And there we go. That's my look, officially complete. So I finished off the look by popping on 2 black gloves, a red shirt, a black tie, and a jacket. I was gonna pop on my original leather jacket that I wore for my original Smiley makeup, but to be honest, it kind of looks like he's just come back from a date, so I wanted to make him a little bit more formal, a little bit more dapper. It just makes the whole thing look a little bit more silly, and I love that. But yeah, so that's my makeup tutorial. I really hope you all enjoyed it. It's very silly, very rough, very out of the kit, and just fun. I really enjoyed doing it, and it's a bit of fun nostalgia. And yeah, so thanks so much for watching this tutorial, Fluffies. I really hope you all enjoyed it. And if you did like this tutorial, please make sure to, you know, the usual, like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. And yeah, so until next time, bye, Fluffies!